Good morning, everyone. The film begins with Zac, an ambitious young man who works in a department store. In the next scene, we see Zac destroying the image of an ideal employee named Vince because they don't like him, because he gets promoted every year and it's been 10 years. In the next scene, Vince comes to the picture and sees what Zac did. Vince knows it was Zac who ruined the photo. Vince goes to see Zac, the rumble, the threat that he'll never get promoted and that he's just a loser. After a while, the store manager Mr. Gaddy arrives and follows the monthly meeting to determine the ideal employee for the new month. At the meeting, we discover that the ideal employee for the new month is again Vince. That's how Vince won the title for the 17th time. Mr. Gaddy tells the staff that if Vince gets the title next month, he will get a very high position in the leadership and take a car as a gift. At the end of the meeting, Gaddy tells them that there is a new employee who will come to work with them named Amy and asks them to welcome her when she arrives. The next day, we see Zac talking with his friends Lyon and Riesel. Suddenly, a new employee named Amy arrives. The girl is beautiful and very glamorous. Zac goes to see her and starts getting to know her by talking to her. Unfortunately, Vince arrives who, as usual, ruins everything for Zac. Vince takes Amy with him to the store and leaves Zac alone. Zac has a crush on Amy at first glance as he contacts his friend Riesel by radio and asks her to bring Amy's file in order to get to know her better. Riesel goes to the caseworker and takes Amy's case. He then goes to their hiding place. They meet to review Amy's case. Zac became very impressed with Amy and told them he was determined to bond with her. His friends tell him that Vince will win as usual and become Amy's lover. Zac responds by saying that this time he will win and become the ideal employee for the new month. His friends laugh at him because he doesn't come to work on time and does nothing at all. So how is he going to win Vince? The challenge begins between Vince and Zac, in which we suddenly see Zac wearing work clothes that they were not wearing at all. Zac is getting to work ahead of schedule for the first time in a decade. After his arrival, Zac asks Lyon to break a large glass bottle in the store. Zac takes the broom to clean the floor of the store in order to get the best rating from its manager. Vince runs faster than Zac and cleans the floor first. At the end of the day, a security guard named Sammy comes and puts a star of the day in Vince. Zac is heartbroken when he sees this and tells the guard that he still has 29 days left and that he will certainly win Vince if he focuses a little on his work. After that, Zac will invite Amy to the party that will take place at night. Amy refuses because she's going to dinner with Vince in a restaurant. Zac is annoyed by these words and goes to Vince and steals his wallet to put him in an uncomfortable position in front of Amy. At night, Vince and Amy have fun at the restaurant. The restaurant employee picks up the price of dinner. Vince can't find the wallet and learns that it was Zac that put him in this difficult situation. Things are going well because the employee is one of Vince's clients. After that, Amy wants to leave, but Vince tries to convince her to go with him home to play with each other. Amy refuses and leaves the restaurant. As the days pass, Zac continues his attempts, but still fails before Vince. Day after day, Vince's stars increase and Zac begins to lose hope of winning. One day Zac sees in the store an old lady who wants to buy a coffin for her husband. Zac will help her and jokes with her at the same time. The old woman is happy with the presence of Zac, so she goes to Deputy Director Derek and tells him that she will return to the store only because of the presence of Zac. Derek records his words in the monthly report. On the same day, Zac gets the first star of the month. Zac's friends are celebrating the achievement of the first star. Amy also congratulates him and asks him to go out together for an evening party. Zac goes home to dress smartly and meets Amy. They eat together at the restaurant and then go to play in the store, and they spend a fun day together. At the end of the day, Amy tells Zac that she got her estimate wrong, and that's where their love story begins. The next day, Mr. Gaddy brings all the employees together and tells them that he has two problems. The first problem is that the number 3 employee in charge of the sausages has died. The second problem is that Mr. Ross, who holds an important position in the company, comes to monitor the performance of the work. However, Gaddy must find someone else to take the employee's place so that the store is not affected by the employee's death. Zac volunteers to take the employee's place so that the monitoring goes well. Mr. Gaddy agrees to make him the new employee of sausages. Vince opposes the decision because he says Zac can't become like him overnight. The manager tells them that he's the one who decides here and Zac will take the employee's place. After a while, Ross comes with the shape of a dwarf but is very strong. Ross walks around the store to keep an eye on them until they get to Zac. Fortunately, Ross rents it and leaves. At the end of the day, Zac gets a new star because it managed to cover the employee's place well. Derek comes to Zac and gives him the card of the sausage worker because he's the new employee there. Day after day, Zac grows and its stars grow more and more until they reach 5 stars. Vince dies of rage because he wasn't used to losing, so he loses his concentration at work. Vince goes to Zac and offers to lose the challenge so that they win the ideal employee title in exchange for his help and support when he becomes the deputy director after the victory. Zac laughs and taunts and then goes. When they leave Zac, they find his friends upset that they sabotaged their hiding place when he put goods for which he could not find a place in the pantry. Zac tells them that the goods will remain in the bunker for only 3 days until the surveillance is complete, after which they will be removed. Zac also tells them that he is doing this to win and that they should help him. At night, Zac and Amy go out together. Vince and his assistant are waiting for them to leave in front of Zac's house. He walks into the house and tries to change the clock so Zac goes to work late. In the morning, Zac gets up late, so he runs to work. Fortunately, Zac meets a friend who gives him his business card on which it is written that he is allowed to be a little late. Zac arrived on time and Vince failed. On the penultimate day of each month, store employees gather to play golf. It's just this month that Ross will be playing with them. An employee will miss the game, so Zac volunteered for the second time. The game starts, Ross's team is losing the game, so Ross is very angry. Zac comes along and helps them win the game and Ross is very happy. Ross gives Zac a new star and thus Zac and Vince become equal in number of stars. The last day the winner is determined at the restaurant. Ross says the winner will win all the prizes tomorrow. As Zac talks to his friends in the restaurant, they tell him that he wants to win the perfect employee title for sleeping with Amy and that he considers her more important than them. Amy surprises their conversation and thus fights with Zac, and everything is ruined between them. The next morning, Zac decided to stop working, but her grandmother encouraged her to return. Zac goes to his friends and tells them he's going to win, but he's in trouble because he submitted his resignation papers. One of his friends tells him that he will try to convince an employee in the files so that his resignation paper will not be registered. Everyone goes to the store. Gaddy says Vince and Zac are equal in number of stars. He will therefore organize a playoff competition between them. The challenge starts where we see them working hard. The contest ends and the ideal employee is announced where, as usual, Vince is the winner. Vince went up to give a speech on the occasion of his victory for the 18th consecutive time. The security guard asks Gaddy and Ross to look at the surveillance camera that proves Vince cheated at the contest. After that, Mr. Gaddy announces that Zac is the winner of the ideal new employee title. Zac rejoices in the realization of his dream and then offers the wedding to Amy, who agrees to marry him without hesitation. Please subscribe to the channel to support us in the content industry. Thank you.